All right, we're here with Ricky Lopez at the Strictly Boxing Gym in Brighton, Colorado. Ricky Lopez at one time in Rocky Mountain Boxing was called the best amateur ever from Colorado. He was the youngest man to qualify for the Olympics at 16 at that particular time before they changed the rules. He's had a great professional career, fought on Golden Boy cards. He was kind of the kickstart for all of the boxing at the Icon Center, or the Icon shows that they were doing in California. How's everything going, Ricky?
Everything's going pretty well, man. Just staying in shape and getting ready for the next fight.
Right on. Let's get the first part of this out of the way. There was one of the fights that you were involved in. It was a great fight. You knocked the guy down, I think, 2 or 3 times. I think he knocked you down twice and ended up stopping you. A fight against Lance Williams. It's been nominated by Rocky Mountain Boxing for Knockout of the Year and also Fight of the Year. Tell us a little bit about that fight, how you guys got to that particular fight. I know he was a late replacement. Tell us just a little bit about how you got into that fight.
Just like you said, it was a last-minute fight. We had another opponent, to fight at 126. So I was on weight for the whole camp at 128, 126, and then my opponent pulled out last minute. So we got a hold of Lance somehow, and I was kind of iffy about the Lance fight because I know I seen him fight over 135, 140, even at one fight at 152, I believe. And I just knew he was a big kid, so I was kind of iffy about it. But I just knew I trained hard for it, and I knew I was in shape. So I know he's coming to Colorado, and I know I had the advantage. So I just said F it, and I took it. And it didn't work out on my end. I dropped him 3 times, and the ref didn't call the last knockdown a knockdown. Well, he started counting to 2, and then he listened to the fighter and
waved it off.
So it was a bad call on the refs and the refs at my end, you know, because I feel like they should have stopped it in my hometown.
Sure.
And the refs should have listened to Lance when he was pointing the back of his head. But I mean, it is what it is. I got myself up, and I kept it moving. I fought June, and then I fought again in November, and I'm on to the next.
And both of those are wins, right,
Yes,
Ricky?
sir.
You took a loss early in the year with Lance, but you didn't let that hold you back. You got right back in the ring. When was your first fight after that?
I fought in June, and then I fought again in November.
And went 2-0. Were either of those? One of those was a knockout, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1 knockout. I fought some tough kids, but I'm just. And then my fight in June, I fought a tough kid from Indiana. Right after me, he stopped a 10-0 kid, so he's a pretty tough kid. And then my last fight was a pretty tough opponent as well. And I'm just adapting and moving closer to my dreams. I just want to become champion of the world.
Right on, Ricky. So beyond that fight, tell us a little bit about, you know, like you said, you've had 2 fights since. We had 1 knockout in there. How do you feel? You know, obviously the Lance Williams fight was short notice, and he was a bit heavy of an opponent for you. You're really a 126-pounder. Tell us how you felt getting back in the ring with the guys that are your size.
I felt better on my high because I'm physically strong, so I'm able to push my opponents around and use my strength and speed and skills. When I fought over 130, I felt like I wasn't strong enough. You know, I packed power, you know, even though I put him down a few times, but I'm just stronger at 122, 126.
Right, no doubt about it. So, like we said, you got 2 wins since the Lance Williams fight. What's next for Ricky Lopez? Do you have anything scheduled, something coming up?
This year, I'm just gonna fight as much as I can. I know I fight in February, and then I take 1 fight at a time. But with God's help, I pull out the victory. And then in March, I'm fighting on a DSG card in Philly on Showbox. So I'm just getting closer to my goals this year, becoming champion of the world. And by the end of this year, my goal is to knock someone off the top 10 list. And so by 2017, with God's help, I can become champion of the world.
Right, and tell us a little bit about the relationship between, like you said, you're going to be fighting possibly on a DSG card. That's Danny Swift Garcia. Yes, tell us a little bit about that. Is it the Pisces Club?
Yeah, it's the Pisces Club. Danny's my brother. We've been good friends since the amateur days. Him and Steph Espinoza from Showtime, they're going to work something out this year. they can put on 4 cards on Showbox. So Danny says he's going to headline me on all 4 cards. So Danny wants to just help me get closer to become a champion of the world right behind him.
It's nice to have that kind of team behind you. Tell us a little bit about your team. Your father trained you, management. Tell us a little bit about the team that's behind you, helps you get here, brother.
Yeah, man, it's a long road, man, because I start off with, with a couple different managers and promotionals like Top Rank and Golden Boy, and it just didn't work out. I had some really good trainers in the past, like Danny Garcia from Robert Garcia's brother. He's
right.
Danny Garcia too, so he was a great coach for me, and things didn't work out over there in California, so I had to move back over here. And then my father's training me again, and we're just grinding it out and just getting closer to our dreams. My brother helps out, trains me as well, and we all 3 of us run the promotional company to help Colorado fighters out.
And that's a new generation fight promotions,
yes,
right? And your younger brother, Devin, he actually made his professional debut this year.
Yeah.
How proud were you to see, your little brother take that step and, make a professional debut and get a win?
Man, I was happy for my baby bro because he has a lot of skills, but he ain't disciplined. So when I seen him finally, take that leap of faith and just be dedicated for that time, for that training camp, it made me pretty happy and proud of him because he looked pretty good and slick, and he stopped the guy, and I was just happy for my brother.
Nice. All right, brother. We'll go ahead and wrap up. Any shout-outs, anybody you want to say thank you to, or the people that helped you get to this point?
I just want to shout out to everybody that's been beside me, been rooting for me and going for me, even though my losses and my wins. And I just promise you I'm not going to let you down. I'll become champion here soon. Thank you.
Right on. Ricky Lopez, Strictly Boxing Gym, 126-pound prospect here from Colorado, hopefully fighting on some Showbox cards with Danny Swift Garcia promotions. Thanks for your time, brother. I appreciate you, Ricky. We go back a long ways, brother. Right on.